Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dheeraj Choudhary and today we are going to build end-to-end data preparation pipeline in SageMaker using Data Wrangler. So now let's first understand what exactly we are going to do as part of today's project. So I have divided this project into 5 steps. So the first and foremost thing that we are going to do is going to be the data collection. So as part of this, we are going to first use a data set that would be a CSV file. Once we do that, then to understand the data better, we will go ahead and start the EDA. In EDA, we understand by generating insights and plot that what exactly the data is, what is the distribution of the specific column that we are going to use, is there any outliers. So these kinds of all things like missing values, that we have in our data sets. So all the nitty-gritty of our specific data set that we are going to use, so that we will do in EDA, which is known as exploratory data analysis. Once we finish that, then we are going to move to data pre-processing. Once we understand what are the shortcomings in our data set, then comes the type to fix it. So for example, if I have some outliers, I have to remove that. Then I have some missing values, I will have to impute that, or I will have to remove those specific columns. So these are the kinds of data pre-processing we would be doing as part of this specific project today. Then comes feature engineering. So we will first go ahead and do all these 3 steps and understand if feature engineering is required or not. If feature engineering is required, then we are going to add one transformation for this specific feature engineering too as part of our today's project. Then at the end, once we make all this, once we perform all the steps, then we are going to process our data and we are going to generate a CSV report by exporting that to the Canvas dataset. So everything that we are going to do today is going to be no code from the SageMaker Canvas console. But I am also going to show you some of the features where you can also put your code, but that is not going to be hard code coding, just for your information. So without wasting much time, let's get started. Now, first and foremost, for with step 1, we are going to start with data collection. So for that, what you will have to do is go to the console and open Amazon SageMaker AI. So in our previous project, previous videos, you would have already remembered that we have created a domain. So we'll click on domain and we will click on Open Studio. Once you do that, it will ask you for the pop-up, say Open Studio. The studio will open in front of you. Once the studio is going to open, the next step that you will have to perform is click on Canvas and click on Run Canvas. This is going to take around 1 minute of yours to get started. So once your canvas is ready, it is going to give you a new button which would say Open Canvas. Click on that. Once you open the canvas, you are going to land on this specific page. So for this project, you will have to go to Data Wrangler, click on Data Wrangler. Once inside Data Wrangler, then we are going to perform the step 1, that is data collection. So in which we are going to load the data set by using SageMaker Canvas. So over here, I will go ahead and say tabular, and I will select the data source as Canvas dataset. Once I am in Canvas dataset, I will just scroll down and I am going to select this Canvas sample housing.csv. So once I select this, I will go ahead, click on next. So already it is having, so over here you can use different types of sampling method. So you can have first k, random, and stratified. I am going to have the random sampling as it is. To be honest, it is not a big data set. It is just having 1000 columns, so it doesn't matter. But you can go ahead and import it now. Once it is going to get imported, you are going to land up on this specific canvas. Then before proceeding to step 2, now we understood that what is our data set that we are going to perform. But before working on the data set, we should understand what is the business use case that we are going to have for this data set, based on which we are going to perform the EDA, the transformation and everything before building the model, because the model is going to predict. So we are going to build a real time project in which it is going to enable real estate companies, investors, or property platform to estimate house prices based on the property and location features, which is going to help them for uh, predicting the price properties accurately, then identifying undervalued or overvalued properties, support buying and selling decision, and improve investment strategy for them based on the model that we are going to build. So in short, it is going to be a data-driven house price estimation for better real estate decision making. And that is our use case that we are going to work upon. Now, let's start with the EDA. So as part of the EDA, first I am going to review the table or the CSV file that I have loaded. So I will go back over here. So for that, you can click on Analysis tab. Once you're inside Analysis, so there are multiple ways of reviewing it. I will click on Table Summary. And if I say Summarize Table and click on Preview, it is going to preview the table summarization or the CSV file summarization that we have. So it is saying that total we are having 1000 rows in this specific. So what is mean, median, mode, as well as the minimum and maximum values for each and every column that we have. So suppose this is our house price. So our house price, if you see over here, the mean is 2,951, 9518, and then over here you can see the minimum house price is this and the maximum house price is this. So this is how you can summarize the table or the data set that you have just loaded. Next, we are going to create a histogram to understand the distribution of the data set that we are targeting for. So for example, if I say, so the use case that I want to achieve over here, for this, first and foremost, this is a regression problem. And for a regression problem, you have to decide what is going to be the specific column, which is going to be a target column. So our target column is none other than the median house value. That is what we are trying to predict. Now, let's understand the distribution of that median house value based on the histogram. So using this no code platform, you can go ahead and click on histogram, give a name of histogram like house value distribution, select the axis. So I would say my axis would be median house value, and I'm going to preview it. So it is going to load the distribution of the specific column that you can see over here. So this is the median house value distribution. Now, if you want, you can also use median income and again preview. So based on that, it is going to show you the distribution over here. This is how you can use the out-of-box histogram. Now, next, suppose if you have to check the outliers. Outliers means there might be some properties which is going to have a huge value which does not set into a frame where all the properties are lying. So for that, I would specifically use Boxplot. So let me go ahead and search for Boxplot. But I cannot see Boxplot available as an analysis type over here. So in that case, what I can do is I can click on custom visualization. Once I am inside custom visualization, over here I will first mention the name Boxplot, and inside custom visualization I will go ahead and paste this specific code. What exactly this code is going to do is code is going to create a box plot for me, and I pasted this code and I will click on preview. And on the left hand side, you can see my box plot has been created. So what it says, so over here it says that the minimum median house value is 60,000 and the maximum is this. But if you see, so minimum is 60,000, okay, and so it lies between 150 to 250, but these are all the outliers. See, one property is having 500k value of that property, which is a big outlier, but it can be a big bungalow because of which it is so costly, or on some prime location. So these are the kind of outliers you need to understand when you're going to go ahead and run the model onto it. So having an outlier does not mean that you're going to remove it completely. You have to understand the business use case based on which you can take the decision. Now, this is how you can create a custom visualization. Now we have created our box plot. Then This all things I did manually. What if I can create a report which is going to do everything for me in one go? So in that case, what you can do is go back to your console and over here click on data quality and insight reports. Okay, so before going to data quality and insight report, let me show you one more thing. Suppose if I want to check a missing value, I cannot check it over here, right? So what I can do is I can click on custom. I will say missing value. This is going to be again one custom plot. I'm just showing you because once we do the report, before that you should know what exactly is the issue that we have to solve. So now if I click on preview, it is going to show me the missing value. So okay, so I forgot to add the import statement. Let me add that over here. So I actually forgot to add this import. Now, if I click on preview, you can see that we have one column in our data set, that is total bedrooms, which is having 6 missing values in the entire data set, just for your information. Now, coming back to our PPT, now I want to do everything automatically. So in that case, what I can do is I can directly go ahead and create a report. So I will say this data analysis report. And over here, as I said, we are having a regression problem. So I will say median house value, and we have to select the problem type as regression. I can take full data set or sample data set. There is a difference between both of them. When you take sample, it is going to take small amount and going to generate a report out of it. If your data set is small, it is going to be quick. In a full data set also, it should not be a problem. But if your data set is very big, go with sample data set to understand what exactly is your data uh, all about the quality of the data. But if you click on full data set, right now it is just 1000 column. So I can click on create full data set and it will create full. Many a times when you click on full data set, it might fail to. So if you are just a beginner trying to test it, so if your full data set is not working, try with sampled data set. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and use the full data set, which is going to take 4 to 5 minutes for us to create the report. So guys, what I did for you, I created the full dataset report that is on the left side. That is the report with name data analysis report, as well as I also created another report, which is sample dataset report. So you can understand how both of them look. But if I tell you honestly, both of them looks the same. The only difference is the amount of data that it consumes is different. So, and once you create this kinds of report, if I take you back to this data flow, this is how it is showing. So till now, if you see what I have done, we have created two different reports. One is for sample data set. It is showing over here the sample part, and this is the full data. This is how it shows in the flowchart diagram of your specific SageMaker. So if I click on this, it is going to take me to that specific report. If I double click on that, and if I double click on the other one from the flow, it is going to take me to the sample report. So now it's time for us to understand what exactly this report is. Let's deep dive. So the table summary that I showed you that I did manually, the entire table summary is over here. It is saying that we have 10 number of columns, total number of rows is 1000. It is also showing me the missing values. I told you that we have 6 missing values. So it is showing me that we have a missing value also. Validation is done. There is no duplicate rows. Now, apart from that, it is also telling me that apart from my 10 columns, we have 8 columns, which is numeric, and 1 column, which is categorical. So that is how it is giving you the table summary that you were trying to fetch manually. So it has reduced your work. Then it gives feature summary. Feature summary means nothing, your column summary. So in that it is going towards the each and every column, and it is going also showing you the prediction power of each and every column. So right now it is showing that longitude is having the most of the highest prediction power based on our regression problem. As we don't have any duplicate rows, it is saying no duplicate rows. Then it also shows you the anomalous sample for the entire data set. And over here, this is our target column, that is the housing value. So it is showing the distribution. I showed you the histogram, right? This is the same histogram, which is, it is showing that it is right skewed at the current moment, because I said you there are some properties which is having very high value, which is on this side, and most of them lies between 150 to 280. You can see over here, see. So this is the huge chunk where the property rate lies, but these are some of the outliers which have high value. It also ran a quick model for me by default, and it has given me the R square MSE, RMSE that we will discuss in our next upcoming projects. So feature summary, it is giving the feature summary for each and every one, where it is again showing the prediction power, the type of variable, validity missing. So if I go back to total rooms, now I understand that this is the specific one which is having 0.6. That means 6 rows which is missing. And you can have the further details of each and every column by understanding, uh, by having the understanding based on the histogram. So over here, this is the longitude, and this is for another feature, that is median income. Then we have another feature, that is total rows. So this is how you can go ahead and understand the report, and at the end it gives you the entire summary of what exactly it has ran. That is the power of the automated report that you are going to create. Previously, I was creating each and everything for you one by one, but this no code report provided you everything in one go. That is the beauty of having SageMaker Canvas. So we checked the missing value, and it is for total bedroom. Just remember that. Now it's time for us to move to next step. What is our next step? Our next step is data pre-processing. First, we understood the data by doing EDA, that is visualization, creating histogram, boxplot, and also creating a report which said us that what exactly is happening with our data. What is the missing value? What is the duplicate rows? What is the distribution of our specific data based on the histogram? We saw everything. Now, based on that, our work is to go ahead and fix those issues. Now, one thing I will show you over here, which is very interesting. So if I take you back to the data flow of our project, and over here this is our source, so this is the real source canvas. So over here you can see this longitude string, latitude string, everything is string, but in my report it is showing me that these are numeric. The reason for that is, as soon as you load your data, there is one transformation which automatically gets created, which is this. If I click on data, this is the transformation that I see, which will be automatically created. If I double click on this, see, data types, it has first only while loading itself understood that what kind of data it is, and it has gone ahead and made them float. But in real, those were strings. So that is one of the data pre-processing transformation task that is done by default, where you have to convert to numerical values. So we have done that. Actually, it has been done for us automatically. Now it's time for us to handle the missing value. So to handle the missing value, you can go ahead and say add transformation. Over here, you can see handle missing. I will click on handle missing. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to drop the columns, that are the 6 columns. So I will impute. Impute means it is going to fill that specific columns with some specific data. Now it is asking me the column type. Our column type is numeric. Float means numeric. Then our input column, if you remember, it is nothing but total bedrooms. So this is one which is having 6 of the rows value missing. So I am not going to have approximate median. Instead of that, I am going to have mean, based on which it is auto populate the value. Now if you want something advanced to be added over here, you can click on the advanced tab, and you can add your details over here by understanding what exactly it is going to do for you. Now I am going to go ahead and preview it. Once you preview, it is going to go to our specific total bedrooms, and it is going to impute all the value, and that is how it has fixed our problem. So I'll click on add. So we have handled the missing value. Now it's time for us to remove the outliers. Now to removing the outlier, what you can do, again click on add transform, and over here you can click on handle outliers. So if I click on handle outliers, over here it will be asking you that what kind of transformation you need to understand, and for that you need to have some background of machine learning. So I will give you one exact answer that what we are going to do over here is, so over here for handling we are going to use robust standard. So I will go ahead and use robust standard deviation for the numerical outliers that we have. So we have outliers for two things. So let me show you what is the other outlier that I can think of. So if I go back to our analysis, and this time if I go to custom visualization, and inside this again I will run the box plot, and this time for the box plot we will change the value, and that value is going to be none other than population, because as per my analysis I understand that over there also it is going ahead and creating problems. So if I will just click on data, and this is the column that actually I'm going to target, where it is the ocean proximity. See, population. So this is the value that I am looking forward for. So I will just click that in our custom visualization just to show you that we have outliers over there also. Population. And I will click on preview on the box plot. Okay, again I missed to add the import statement. So let me add that and click on preview. And you can see we also have outlier in population over here. This 12,000, more than 12,000, this is one of the outlier, because of which the max population goes about 12,000, which is not actually. Everything lies between 500 to around 1,500, but because of these outliers, extreme outliers, it has actually taken the range to higher side. So we have to fix that too. So for that, I will again come over here and click on add transform, handle outliers, and we are going to select robust standard deviation. And over here, I am going to select two columns. One is going to be our medium house value, and another one is going to be population. And once I select both of them, I will just go ahead and click on preview. You can click on preview, or you can also add advanced options over here if you want to cap it manually. So I will just go ahead and directly click on add. So this is going to be added. So last transformation that we will have to do is, we have one categorical variable, that is ocean proximity. So I have going to go ahead, and the last step I'm going to do is I'm going to apply one hot encoding to the ocean proximity, that is our categorical column. So for that, I will click on add transform, and I will say encode categorical. Over here, I will say one hot encoding. Select the column, that is the string column. See, it is showing over here string ocean proximity, and I will click on add. And once I click on add, you will see that the values for it, this specific thing has been changed. So one thing, just for your information, if I go back to data types, it is going to show you what kind of right now values it is showing. So it has changed that to object. See, so this is the object type as per the canvas it shows. So this is how we can go ahead and transform our data. Once our data transformation is completed, the next step is going to export the data. Now, before exporting the data, let me take you to the data flow and show you. See, this is how our flow has been created. So from our flow, what we have done first, it has fixed the data. Once we have changed the type of columns from string to numeric, that was our step one. Then our step two that we did is, we went ahead and we imputed the values for the missing one. Then we applied a robust standard deviation to remove the outliers, and then we did one hot encoding for our categorical column. So all these steps were completed successfully. Now, one thing actually I missed while we were adding our data, I missed to rename it. So what you can do is, if you also missed to rename it, you can click on data flow. It will come back over here, and go ahead and change the name. Just click on rename and fix it. and just click on enter. Now, the last and final step that you have to perform is you can go ahead and export. The agenda for this specific tutorial is to use SageMaker Canvas. That is why I'm going to export this in SageMaker Canvas dataset. So I will click on this and click on export. So it gives you multiple options. So you can add it to S3, you can export it via Jupyter Notebook, you can export it to Amazon S3, but we are going to export that to Canvas dataset. So I will click on export to Canvas dataset. Over here, we will say housing processed dataset, and I will say AI lab. So this is going to be for us, and over here I have mentioned process entire data set. So right now we only have 1000, but for major ones also it is going to do. So when I click on export, it is going to run all of the transformation that we have added, and it is going to create that in our canvas. So I will click on export and the process has started. So it is saying running data flow on data set. So it is running the flow of data. This is the data flow. So it is running all of them, and once it is going to run, so it has actually gone ahead and exported our dataset successfully. So if I click on the left hand side dataset, over here you can see our dataset has been created successfully. So once you complete this project, the next step for you is you have to go ahead and exit from this canvas, and you have to stop the canvas, so that you are not going to incur any charges for the canvas which is left as open, as we started that while implementing our project. And that's a wrap for today's project demo. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep learning step by step, make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the upcoming tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.